Dexerto frames xQc. What is this? If the hit is too big, he definitely will cut them off. xQc weighed on Chris Tyson and Mr. Beast's friendship from a brand perspective. Deliberate, harmful misrepresentation. Clickbait is all fun and games, but this is a notch too far. Exploring all scenarios is an important thought exercise I wish more people did. Don't cut off one of the thought branches just because it fits the more clickbaity narrative. Do better. Yeah, I don't think xQc thought that this video was good. Didn't he fucking, like, literally rip into the video aggressively? And said that it's, like, bullshit.
Read it again. Their Mr. Beast blazing out. I doubt he cares if he takes a hit. He definitely does care. And if the hit is too big, he definitely will cut them off. And I wouldn't even be mad about that. Why? Because the level of a liability, you don't know how much it's going to be until it actually gets there. And making things like, guys, this is a friend, I can't drop him. Bro, what if it becomes an absolute nightmare? You don't.
xQc's basic take is it won't be an issue, but if it's an issue, Mr. Beast will let Chris go. I mean, the way I understood this, given what I saw of what he was saying of the video, the way I understood this was like the absolute nightmare scenario could imply like not even necessarily something about like Chris being trans or anything, but more so like anything. Like anyone can become a liability at any given moment. You know what I mean? Like this isn't even, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought, considering all of the other fucking shit that he said leading up to this.
Don't know
Look,
what's
yeah, if
happen.
he like murdered somebody, like I don't think Mr. Beast is gonna be like, oh, I've got to defend him. You know what I mean? And being trans doesn't fucking meet that standard at all.
That you gotta get away from it, man. They're building an empire, idiots. Holy shit.
You know what I mean? Why would he say that in this context, though? I don't know, but he was. I'm pretty sure he was pretty supportive of Chris and Mr. Beast in general. So, you know, it's weird that this was what got clipped out. Like, look,
listen, I don't want to be a cancel Andy, okay, but
again, this is a level of charitability that this motherfucker would never give me. I'm doing it not because I want to defend him. I'm doing it because I think it's the right thing to do. Always sucking your friends' dicks over your values. Exactly. This is my favorite fucking retort from people who are like, dude, you're sucking him off. Okay, well, watch this clip then.
Exactly.
Dynamic jab. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Please, no cost score.
But this fucking take from Sonny is absolutely unhinged. That shit is balls deep, piped up. I don't know what the fuck I just listened to, man. Like it. Bro. There are a million. What? Explain it. There is a million things that happen in people's private lives that change the nature of their content, behavior, and personality. So therefore, the content that they make, right? And that's just being a human. That's what that is. It's called human experience. And sometimes it shapes and goes through ways. But saying, oh, guys, him being himself and doing the thing that he needs to do, well, that will affect the views and people watching the videos, and it'll ruin the videos. His personality's gonna be different. Lol. It's just like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck is this shit?
Already watching anyway, and
like he's like literally saying that it's unhinged to look at a person. Like there were so many components of this video. I already reacted to it. I don't know if my react is up yet on my YouTube or not, but Mr. Beast is standing by Chris. Yeah, it is up. I covered it extensively. I talked about it extensively. But you guys have probably watched it. If you haven't, please go watch it. Ultimately, you know, he was like ripping into Sonny for, you know, doing the wishy-washy transphobia stance that I think I'm actually kind of happy other people are recognizing as well, which is it's kind of mind-boggling to see so many like mainstream content creators who don't understand like the trans existence or anything like that genuinely see this moment and go, oh, dude, I know what you're doing. You're just fucking clipping stuff. You're clipping commentary to basically substitute for your own personal perspective. And any single time that you editorialize, any single time that you actually chime in with your genuine point of view, it's like unhinged. What do I mean by that? One of the greatest moments in that fucking, one of the most revelatory moments in that video was when he was like, when he was talking about how like a lot of people are understandably frustrated by seeing LGBT characters in movies. And it's like, bro, this ain't a movie. This is fucking Mr. Beast's lifelong friend, okay? Like, they're trans. You know what I mean? This is a real human being who happens to be fucking trans. You're making it seem like this is literally a movie that you're watching with in the most parasocial way possible. And it's cool to see so many people recognize that, because I think back when I first got my start on the internet, I always go back to this. The Jordan Peterson is not a transphobe video, which was of course a sarcastic title. But if you want to know how people behaved when you called out people for transphobia, yeah, I mean, here, 4 years ago, 146,000 views. Jordan Peterson is not a conservative transphobe. 4 years ago, when he was at his peak, okay? 4 months ago, people are still talking about this shit. There should be a better word than transphobic. Peterson and his ilk hate transgender more than they fear them. This guy's a great... This guy is a hipster fuck. Dr. Peterson is a great man. He helped millions navigate ourselves in the world. It's wild to see this. Like, I want to know how many dislikes this video had. But like 4 years ago even, and this is a couple of years into me doing commentary at this point, there would be no one who would openly be like, yeah, you know what? That's actually pretty fucking transphobic, the things that Jordan Peterson was saying. And now it seems like we have actually moved the needle where people do recognize that. When someone is doing a transphobic sentiment, people actually are pretty tuned to figure that out. It has 6.1K dislikes, 3K, barely 3K likes, 6.1K dislikes. Yeah. So, Sonny didn't even like go out of the gates swinging with like overt transphobia in the way that like a lot of people do, like Matt Walsh and shit. And yet people still picked up on it pretty quickly, where they were like, this is a human being. They're going through this process. And instead of being supportive in their journey, you literally decided to look at this in this like cold, calculated way. And it's like completely unhinged. How is it that people have nothing better to do than micromanage and mauled about the lifestyles of content creators? It's exhausting how opinionated internet users are by the personal lives of the people they never meet. Holy fuck. Exactly. Content creators recognize it from the perspective of like, there's a couple things, okay? One, content creators recognize parasocial desires in fandoms and the way that they operate pretty well because they experience a version of that. Number two, there is a tide shift. There is a tide shift. That's his whole channel. What's so special about this one video among the hundreds of others videos where he does the same thing? I was critical of his video regarding Ninja and another Minecraft YouTuber for the same reason. I think in those videos, as well as this one, Sonny inaccurately paints a shift in lifestyle or priorities as a failure by reducing a person down to YouTube analytics. That's a great fucking counter to this, and it's true. Okay? That's the thing. There's a couple different components to this. One, a lot of content creators recognize how annoying it is to constantly have someone like pick apart every single thing that you're doing, every single life change or decision that you've made in like the worst, most pessimistic lens possible. And number two, there is a sea change, a tide shift, an attitude change in the way that trans people exist, at least amongst content creators, where they're just like, dude, you guys are being fucking insane. You know what I mean? We have friends that are trans. Like, they make content. They're wonderful people. You're behaving like in this unhinged way. That's another good thing. And lastly, someone as big as Mr. Beast openly fucking combating transphobia immediately will come with a whole litany of content creators who now think it's totally unacceptable, who will basically follow suit. Okay? The Sunny vid last I checked was pretty bad from likes and dislikes. Yeah, this didn't happen originally. Originally, when he first started, when the video first came out, it was like full of fucking likes, overwhelming support. It got like 100K likes when I watched it, and not a lot of dislikes. Now, since content creators have reacted to it, they've picked it apart, and like the attitude swung in the other direction. People are recognizing that maybe it's bad. So yeah. I read someone say that Chris immediately became one of the most visible trans people in the entire world. Is very true. Yeah, it is. And that is a terrifying, like, dude, undergoing gender confirmation already, even if you do it in private, even if you have support from some friends, is already probably a pretty scary experience, right? Doing it in front of billions in one of the most prominent, most visible spaces that you can do it takes a lot of fucking guts, okay? So it was always going to be difficult, even if there was an overwhelming sea of support. And of course, there is no overwhelming sea of support because we're talking about trans existence on the timeline. And there is always going to be the most unhinged, diabolical vermin you've ever encountered on in this space that come out of the fucking gutters that they normally frequent to do everything and anything they can. They will go through. They will literally go through the background of Chris and Mr. Beast. I've already seen it, like showing older transphobic videos that they made. You know what I mean? Like whether or not like they made like a fucking attack helicopter joke or not, which of course they did. Who hasn't fucking, with the exception of me, basically, who hasn't fucking done that? I always thought it was corny. I had transphobic takes 10 years ago, but you know, it still doesn't matter. Like, I never participated in the attack helicopter shit. That doesn't make me a nicer person. That doesn't make me a better person, by the way. I'm just saying that, like, they are going to go through and pick apart every single thing that they've done. It's called growth. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, okay? See, people are doing it in the chat right now. What about him saying the hard R? He said some Islamophobic shit back in the day. I don't care. None of that pertains to Chris coming out as a trans person. I know for a fact that he has grown, okay? He's grown. He's a different person. And you can too, for the record. You can grow. Growth is good. It's not a bad thing. I hate that we constantly fucking go address these old things that people have done. Okay? I don't like it. And I will not allow it, especially in this community, especially when people in this community are doing it and you know, falling in line with right-wing reactionaries who are basically fucking dropping those little notes in there to get dumbasses like you in leftist spaces to go along with it. People can change. That is at the heart of what I do. So many people have also changed. So many people have also grown from their past selves. And that's a wonderful thing. Okay? So, anyway. I don't know why it's like considered revolutionary or radical when I say something so normal that if you didn't have Twitter brain rot, you would personally recognize immediately in your real life. Okay? Whether it be a family member that has changed their stances on certain issues, whether it be a loved one that's changed their stances on certain issues, or whether someone got in trouble with the law, someone who was addicted to drugs or alcohol, who went through rehab and truly changed their life for the better. Like, there are people growing every day, people learning every day, people rehabilitating themselves every fucking day. And you, when you're not on Twitter, when you're not anonymous and, you know, slinging shit at other people under the guise of anonymity, are perfectly understanding and welcoming to those people, okay? I try to instill that mentality in this community as well. Anyway. Yeah, I know we're gonna talk about the shooter in Texas and how he was trying to fucking have sex with like under 18 girls. That's the dude that Greg Abbott wants to fucking. That's the dude that Greg Abbott wants to pardon. What is this? There again, overly labeling everything as well. Woke culture ruins everything. There again, Overly labeling everything as woke in an effort to discredit or devalue legitimate talking points doesn't do anyone any favors. Defaulting to this stance only empowers hateful messages, especially when no counterpoints of criticism have been made. Good take from xQc. But yeah. Like he's saying that, like, you know, stop fucking saying something is woke in an effort to dismiss it. How does XC write so well and then speak like a raccoon stuck in the garbage disposal? It's different when you're, it's a different speed when you're fucking speaking. He's right. It's good. I'm sure he'll say some unhinged dumbass shit later today. Don't misunderstand me. But that doesn't change where his attitude is, especially on a lot of issues, and also what his starting point is usually on stuff like this. Okay? It was awesome. I love this kind of shit.